Welcome to another episode of Us Reviewing Things. This is your friend Mac and Forrest from Concussion Media, and we say hello.
Hello.
So, we just went and saw Motherless Brooklyn.
Yes, this is a really cool film.
Double snap worthy, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And directed by and produced by Edward Norton.
And written for screen by Edward Norton.
And he acted in it.
Yeah, so he wore every hat he could on this production, and it was stellar. There were some moments that were extraordinarily visually stunning.
Absolutely. I really like, so the time period of this movie is in the 1950s.
Yeah, right after World War II.
Yeah, really, not long after. And let me say that the attention to detail of the time period was amazing.
That's like a big part of this movie too, because that's Edward Norton's character's like thing, is that his whole thing is his attention to detail. So I think that fit in very well with the whole overall film, in my opinion.
Yeah, so his character's name is Lionel, and Lionel suffers from Tourette's syndrome. So he'll, say things out of the blue and twitch, but he does have a photographic memory, which I think was really cool.
Yeah.
So he has these gifts, despite the weaknesses that he has.
Yeah, I think that the use of the way that they incorporated that into the film, like as like it was like a positive approach to it, while like saying that this is like a horrible thing. Like, I want to compare this to Joker, where I just felt sad the entire time, but this time I was like, what I'm trying to say is like they did this portrayal of it not completely like one-sided emotionally. Like, I wasn't sad the entire time I was watching him. I was like rooting for him. Like, I was like, yeah, he's like ridiculously smart, and like he can put these pieces together. And like in Joker, it was just very sad portrayal of mental illness, and this one is like a very I want to say like productive. Like, he's like the hero of the story, and like he's like, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Kinda.
Yeah, I know you're rooting for this guy.
Yeah. But like in Joker, it was just sad. It was like a sad portrayal of mental illness. Like, what would you classify this portrayal as?
I mean, I thought it was how we survive with our own personal battles.
Yeah. That was a theme in this movie too. They mentioned it.
Yeah, so he battles this every day, and it kind of with like everyone battles with something every day to get through.
Yeah, totally.
But he doesn't. But he doesn't let it, limit to what he's capable of.
Oh yeah, he uses what he naturally has, which is like this. He has like I would say photographic memory, basically, like almost like as close as to that as you can have.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it was very. There's a lot of story in this film.
There is a lot of story. I guess you could say just basic synopsis without spoiling anything.
Yeah, this is a non-spoiler section, by the way.
Non-spoiler section. Basic synopsis. Ed Norton plays Lionel, and he and some guys, they work for a private eye agency. And their main boss, who's the main private eye, gets deep into something that gets him, ends up him getting killed, and he's left with the pieces to find out why. That's the main reason. He wants to know why, what was involved in it, and what led to his death. And from there, watching the film without spoiling anything, it leads into a bigger plot.
Yeah, and it's like this. The whole film is trying to figure out this mystery, like because they showed that in the trailers. So like, but like they like showed like this whole. It's like this mystery that keeps unfolding, and then it's like a whole lot bigger than everyone thought it was going to be. And it was honestly, I kind of wish they made this into like a TV series.
Really?
Yeah, I think that.
Or like a mini series at least.
Like a mini series, not like a whole. Yeah, like a mini series. I think this would have like an HBO mini series with like all the characters casted the same exact way, like an HBO miniseries, and like I think this would have worked really well.
Yeah, it is a 2.5 hour long film.
Yeah,
and it is really good, but I wouldn't even say it was a slow burn. I think it's a film. It's not a slow burn. It's one for me. It was like you have to be patient. It was like you have to make sure you set time aside to watch this movie.
it's a very you have to pay attention to this movie. It's a very smart film.
It is,
Like,
but there's always something that's like, that's always like intriguing or entertaining throughout the whole film.
yeah, completely.
Even like some of the slower things, the visuals and cinematography are just great.
Oh yeah, it's like the bridge shots; those were beautiful. And some of the bridge sequences, those were the dream sequences were very well done. Like I thought they were awesome.
I loved the color lighting they used.
Oh yeah, the color. I love their use of color because they like desaturated everything except for like the reds and the blues, basically. Like not like completely, but like you could tell like the rest of the world was like undersaturated except for like certain colors, and it looked really good. It looked really good.
Yeah, it was really good. And I'm not one more thing in the. It's really cool. It's kind of I like how they kind of have that throwback feel of like those old time noirs.
It's basically it's like it felt like they put like every noir film into one kind of in a way. They kind of just went like, and this is that movie.
I did really appreciate the narration. It kind of gave
You didn't appreciate it?
No, I did. I did.
I like that.
It had that
too.
because like those older films, they had like that same thing. Like not as like cheesy, but like it was great.
No, I like the narration. I thought it was very well done.
I liked it. And we're seeing that a little bit more lately. Ad Astra had narration.
Yeah, I was thinking about Ad Astra like during it. I like the narration I liked them both in each movie. What do you think of Edward Norton's performance?
I thought it was stellar.
I thought he did.
I thought it was absolutely
stellar. He transformed himself.
You can say like he really got into character.
Like he did he really like his character has these outbursts and like his like whole he wouldn't just go like and like say something. Like his whole body would twitch every time and it would look like it was hurting him when he did it, like because it was like, it's like a sudden like it's like a cramp almost. Right,
but it would also be different with different emotions as well.
Yeah,
like see, like he'll be different when he's agitated, different when he's more calm. Yeah, it was like it is though he actually had it.
See, like so what I wish they did for this particular story was make this like maybe like a 5-episode miniseries. Like, I think that would have like had because like this film has like really interesting characters in it, but there are some that I wanted more of.
Yeah, I would agree. There were some that like what's his story?
Yeah, and like there's some there's actually some philosophical arguments in this, which I can always appreciate. And I thought that was very interesting. Like I always find it really interesting when people like speak their philosophy. Yeah, like on screen or like in any type of medium in particular, because it's like it's interesting to hear people's like worldviews on what they have to say.
And I liked it. I think it really it showed.
Hold on 1 second.
What was I saying?
You were talking about. We were just talking.
Oh yes, I remember.
About philosophy.
I really appreciate how. I guess the villain's view was understandable. It wasn't something outrageous or like some super like, oh, that's totally obviously evil. You can kind of like, okay, I see where he's coming from, and for a lot of people, like, okay, yeah, that's not such a bad thing.
That's like what the best villains are.
Yeah,
he was like a really well written character, and like I don't know, I wanted to know more about him. I wanted to know like.
That's okay. I can see why you would want the miniseries.
I want the miniseries specifically so we can learn about like the past of some of the characters.
So, what'd you think of like Alec Baldwin's performance?
I thought he was So he was like a force on screen in this film. Like he was like powerful, which suits his character. But like he was like, I thought it was crazy good.
For me, when it comes to Alec Baldwin, he's either like really good or it's like nah.
Yeah, you can kind of tell when he's just like.
But I feel like he took this real seriously.
Yeah, I feel like he gave a shit about this movie
and did land a good job on it. So
yeah, he was really doing a good job of like he believed every word he was saying.
Yeah. All right, so we jump into ratings about this.
Yeah, there's not really a lot more to talk about, and we're kind of pressed for time on this review, so this was gonna be a little shorter. So for me, there was parts of this movie that were an 8, but there was also parts of this movie that was like a 6 for me. Some of the characters' performances kind of brought it down, specifically Edward Norton's friends. The friends. Oh my gosh, we gotta talk about that. I don't know. There was some parts of the film that like felt like I don't know how to describe it. So I'm gonna give this like a solid 7.
Okay.
What's your opinion?
My turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a solid 8.
A solid 8. Okay.
I'm giving this an 8. I loved that it was an original story.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting this one on Blu-ray for sure.
It was original. It was immersive. It was a smart movie, but it was fun to follow along with it.
Yeah.
This was a fun mystery thriller ride. And I loved so many of the dream sequences, the cinematography. I think it was just beautiful. I just feel like I can watch something like this all day.
It's just like,
but I do agree. There were some characters that were kind of that fell short.
And but I'll say like some particular things in the spoiler section, but like there were some scenes where I was just like, come on, man. But yeah, I think, but I'm gonna give this a solid 7. It was a good film. I thought this was a good film. And yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add before we went into spoilers?
Nope, just solid 8 for me.
Solid 8, yeah. All right, so this was a quicker one. We're kind of pressed for time while we're recording this, so sorry about that. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that jazz. Forrest, say bye. And
see you later.
yeah, we are going into the spoilers now. So if you are planning on seeing this movie instead of Terminator, then yeah, I would click off now.
All right.
Spoilers.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, the spoilers. Okay.
The stupid driver in the beginning of the movie. Oh my gosh.
He was funny.
He was funny.
But then he got a bit annoying.
He got annoying when he was fucking around when he was like driving around and like Bruce Willis was shot and then he almost wrecked the car. I thought they were gonna crash the car and that's how Bruce Willis was gonna die.
It probably led to his death.
Yeah, him not.
So I mean, he was shot. They rushed into the hospital. They're bouncing the car around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's moving the bullet around or fragments in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there were some scenes in this movie that like felt like, I don't know, off tone, like tonally. It was kind of like sometimes it would get like a little too like, I don't know. I don't want to say like campy, but like
a little comical.
A little too comical. Like the giant henchman, for example, like when he died, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like kind of like out of place. I wish it stuck, like, I wish it was the dark tone throughout the whole thing, like the mystery tone, and like, if it like, I wish it didn't go like into like comical looking, because it was like almost like.
I kind of feel like that was mostly the beginning portion though.
Yeah, but like, there was times where I'm like, this movie is like an 8, and then I would, like, there was something that would happen, I'd be all like, damn, like when William Dafoe came on screen, that was. Like, he did a fantastic job.
Oh, yes.
Like, honestly, I want to give this movie a 7.5, but we don't do, like...
We had some great A-list actors here. We had Willem Dafoe, Alec Baldwin, Edward Norton. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yeah, he was in the movie
So-
for all of 15 minutes.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe 20 with like the dream sequences.
There we go. There's also a lot of beatings in this movie.
There was a lot of beatdowns, yeah. What do you think of like all the crazy twists and reveals and things?
I thought they were clever.
Yeah. I don't know. There was like it felt like at times like it felt like there was something missing that would make this movie an 8 for me. I think there was like some weaknesses, which is why I'm giving this a 7 instead of an 8. But I thought it was a very good, well-written film, but I wish it was a miniseries.
Yeah.
Or it was,
I
like
can
3
understand
hours
that.
long. I wish it was either that or 3 hours long.
Because there were some interesting characters. I'm like, oh, I want to know more about that character.
Like I wanted to know more about William Dafoe's past and Alec Baldwin's past and like kind of like the things that they talked about. I wish like they kind of like explored upon a little bit more and like maybe like some like more clashing of ideals and things. But yeah, I wish this was a miniseries. I think it would have been like I would have loved it as a miniseries.
Yeah, and also would have flesh out more of Bruce Willis's character, why he was such an influence. More like I would like to kind of see how his crew kind of came together, kind of thing.
Yeah, I would have liked to.
Maybe not such as that, but like a little bit more background about them.
Yeah, so I think a miniseries of this would have been amazing.
Yes,
Which is I would have loved it.
or maybe they might do a miniseries based off this movie.
I mean, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Would they have Louis Armstrong in this movie? The trumpet player? That was him?
No.
Who was the trumpet player that
He was just a jazz player.
No, he wasn't. He was
You sure?
Yeah. They did a reference to him.
I don't think it was Louis Armstrong.
Who's the guy that sings hold on, I'm gonna Google something very quick. If oh wait. Okay. Hold on. I'm Googling. He sings "Oh What a Wonderful World," right? Yeah. All right, so that was Louis Armstrong. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because his trumpet bent at the end.
Oh,
Louis Armstrong bent his trumpets to get a distorted sound.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So like
wow.
when they did that, it was like, oh, because it fits the time period. Yeah, it does. And
Okay, my mistake.
yeah, because he's like a big. I know he was like a big musician, so I was like, who? And like Louis Armstrong's a trumpet player, so I was like, who?
Now-
and when they bent the trumpet, I was like, that's him.
Now, speaking of the music, I'm not a huge fan of jazz, but I actually enjoyed it.
Oh, I love the soundtrack, and I love the stylized stuff. Dang, I wish we did half ratings because I want to give this a 7.5.
What would you say? What would you think about the sound design in this movie?
Actually, I really liked it. I think some of the effects they used to, like his head, like what he was going on in his mind, was very well done. Like it had like some reversal effects on the audio, and like they did a really good job of portraying how he was feeling, like how his like mental thing was affecting him, and like kind of like its process. So I thought the sound design was very well done.
One of my favorite parts, sound wise, was when he was in a taxi cab, and it'd be like this little chime from a bell with like on the ticker
Yeah, and
of like how much you owe.
you're talking about the time where it like stopped. Everything stopped.
Well, like he was like putting things together, but like it would start like being like a little faster.
Oh yeah. And then
That's it. I thought it was great. It really did like add tension and everything. And
oh yeah, the sound design in this movie was like actually really good. So what I really loved about this movie too is the soundtrack.
yes,
I actually really like the soundtrack. Like the the it does like a kind of like music tribute thing, which I really liked because me being a musician and a music lover, this is something that I like. So I thought that I was like, that's good.
Yeah. I really did like all the set designs out there. I just felt like I was like, where did they find this place? This is so cool.
Oh yeah, and like all the cars.
All the
All the
cars,
cars were all period accurate.
even the diners, down to like the to radio, to like everything.
So like I really believed everything in this movie. It wasn't like, oh, this is just a movie set in the 50s. Like it was very immersive.
I haven't had a time period be so immersive for quite a while.
Yeah, and like fully accurate to the time period as well. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Now, I want to talk about some of like my favorite sequences was when, I guess the trees is the yellow, like the golden color.
Yeah, like that haze.
That haze.
Some of the shots were like amazing.
Now, or when he would like, what was, I think the first was like when he was getting high and you see him like fall back like into like black water.
Yeah.
And like it's like yellow light. He's like sinking down, but it's also cool transition into the next scene because you see someone swimming across, and that's like the next scene, someone doing laps in water. I'm just like, whoa! I like that transition.
See, like this is like what makes it so hard to rate this movie for me. It's like because there was like some parts of it I didn't like, but like there's some parts of it that are really amazing and like beautiful and like awesome.
It does take a lot of components to make a really good movie.
Yeah. So I want to give this movie like I kind of want to change the rules a little bit. I want to give this movie like a 7.5.
Okay.
I think I want to start doing half ratings again.
Okay.
Half ratings now.
I'll try to stick to whole.
We've been trying to like hold off and just do whole ratings, but like sometimes it's hard because I thought Ad Astra was a solid 8. I don't think this movie like was as good as Ad Astra.
Okay.
Like, I think there was like the parts of it I didn't like are too hard of me to go, okay, this is an 8 as well. But like if they stuck to like the tone, like a more serious tone, and like didn't have like as comical. Well, it wasn't even that. There was just some scenes I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, a 7.5, solid 7.5.
Okay.
For me.
Well, I still give it an 8. I'm glad we saw this movie.
I'm super happy we saw this movie. It's like Terminator is not going to be as good as this movie.
Yeah,
I
that's
can predict
true.
that right
And it's sad this came out the same week as Terminator because people are missing out on a great film.
The whole theater, basically, there was 5 people in the whole theater.
Yeah.
And it was a big theater too. Like it was the opening. It's like still like kind of like the first week it's been in theaters, so it's like the opening weekend. So we got like a nice little theater, and it was like there's nobody in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, if you're looking for anything with mystery or crime or drama, this has all 3.
I will say the mystery was very compelling.
It was very compelling. Like there are some like I'm like I don't really care about the mystery, but this one you want to know.
I was actually kind of invested, and like
You get invested. You're like okay, I want to know what's behind what.
I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, like it really wasn't that like big of a deal. It was just like
it's just he gets gradually, but like understandably more invested in what.
Yeah, it's like this one's more about the journey to get there, which is like one of the things that like make this movie a 7.5 for me. Like it's better. It's better than the average good film. It's a lot better written, which is why I'm giving it almost a great film. But like there's some parts where I didn't like it, and like the payoff at the end was just all right for me. But the attention to detail was incredible in this film.
Very, very incredible.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. Is there anything else that we missed?
No, I think we got it mostly covered. Definitely check this film out. It'll definitely be worthwhile That's all I gotta say.
So yeah, sorry about the quickness of this review. We were pressed for time. I think I've said that 4 times now.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening, watching, and however you're hearing this. And thank you for doing all the things you do. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Live long and prosper.
Yes.